Me want my dad, give me to my wee. Me want my dad, give me to my wee. Me want my dad, give me to my wee.
Send it to your friend or something like that.
My friend in Brazil.
Yeah, you can send the link.
Yeah, do you
So
wanna
we'll do the interview in Portuguese, okay?
Portuguese. We will be learning as well.
For Stefan, welcome to the mic. Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's lovely to meet you.
Beautiful.
Stefan and Bethan.
Bethan's my ex.
Oh no, not Stefan and Bethan. Oh my gosh, that was bad.
That's all right.
Good start.
Right, all right.
Hey, it's nice to start with drama,
She's
isn't
a
it?
wonderful woman. She deserves a mention.
Right.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fabulous dancer.
Oh, there we go. Well, I've been watching. I've been watching you guys.
Thank you. So you have followed me.
I have, yeah. I have been watching your tuition of circle dancing.
Circle dancing.
Yes, which is something I believe that you kind of started. You were one of the first people
I was
in the
among
UK.
the first wave.
Yeah.
I thought I'd invented the name circle dance when I started my group in the early 80s. And people came along saying, "Oh, we've been looking for a circle dance group." And I said, "Oh, so there are others."
Oh, okay.
And so I kind of reinvented the wheel.
Yeah.
And found out that there's a network of people calling what they do circle dance, which is, you can imagine, dancing in a circle.
Yeah.
To all kinds of music.
Yeah.
Some very old ones,
I
some new
remember listening to Fields of Gold.
Yes.
Fields of Barley or
Fields of Gold.
Yeah, and I walk in
Sting.
fields of
I'm new
gold.
to the circle
Da,
dancing.
da, 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 da.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I love that.
You remember me when the west wind blows on the fields of barley.
Nice.
You'll forget the sun in its jealous sky
As we walk in fields of gold.
I love that song.
As we walk in fields of gold. So not a typical dance song, right?
No.
Because some of our dances are much slower.
Yeah,
and
because
almost meditative.
who sang that? Was it
Sting,
Sting?
yeah.
Because I know that
Sting.
Eva Cassidy, she covered a beautiful,
Eva, yeah.
She
beautiful
did it
version
even
of
slower,
it. Yeah,
and
yeah.
made it like a dream. It was
Yeah.
like walking into a dream.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think most people prefer that version, isn't it?
I know. Oh, poor well, I like Sting. There's a nice variant. I think it's got its place. Each of them have got their place.
Sting's really singing with heart and earth.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I've been there, I've done that, I've suffered.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Eva just took it up to
Heaven. Yeah.
and floated us.
Definitely.
That's beautiful.
But so the circle dance then, can you tell us a little bit about that? What's the circle dance all about?
Okay, so for thousands of years, people all around the world danced in circles. And this happened without any consultation because they didn't get around so much in the old days.
Yeah.
It just happened that it arose in many, many places, dances in circles.
Yeah.
So if you try and figure out why, we now think dancing is an entertainment and a pleasure that some people do and a lot of people don't do.
Yeah.
In those days, it was what I would call social glue. That when you dance, it's the time when you see everybody, you move together in rhythm, you kind of put your hearts together and forget all the differences. And this is what modern circle dance is about, but we're able to dip into so much more music and so many cultures now.
Right.
So it's also a diversity arena, if you like. It's a way of putting diversity into practice.
So how did you discover this?
Well, I thought I'd invented it. And then people came along and said, oh, we've been looking for it. So I'd been doing folk dancing in my 20s, like international folk dance, because I love music from different countries.
Yeah.
It's a way of kind of getting into it and moving to it. And then when I started a group, I called it Circle Dance, because some of the groups I went to were competitive, and I wasn't so keen on that.
No.
I was more like anybody can do it.
And that's very in dance, it's people are competitive. It's a very competitive world.
The world gears us up from school onwards. You're geared up to get good marks, to do the best, and to try and do better than someone else. But dancing was always originally a place where it doesn't matter. You know, if you're in a wheelchair, if you're elderly, if you're young and you're learning the steps, doesn't matter. The main thing is community.
Yeah.
And
That
so
sense of togetherness.
coming back to that the inner dance, how you feel, is more important than what you're showing.
So that's where your background comes from, being social science in school or getting into...
Well, I did social science at uni. Was
Oh,
a little,
yeah.
little bit dry, but it reflected my interest in people.
Yeah.
But also my root family are from Romania, Belarus.
Okay.
When I hear music from Eastern Europe, something in me goes,
Because what's your training? What's your dance training? Because didn't you do like kind of salsa and...
Well, that came later.
Oh, did it? Well, after the circle dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm mad about salsa, but I was doing all this folk dance and circle dance for a long time before the salsa.
So when you say you thought you invented it, what you were sitting in your room one day and all of a sudden you thought, oh,
something came.
This would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I've always loved to teach. I was trying to teach guitar even when I knew 3 chords and my friend only knew 1, you know, so...
Right. You're always one step ahead, it's
fine. So when I
fine.
was learning international folk dance, I liked the idea of starting a class. When I started it, I thought, I won't call it international folk dance because people will expect badges and competition.
Yeah.
Let's find a name that makes people feel that we're one circle, we're just with each other. Oh, circle dance.
Okay.
And then it turned out there was already an international network called Circle Dance, which I'd never heard of in the early 80s.
Yeah.
So it's one of I call it serendipity, and this happens to me all the time, sort of happy coincidences.
Yeah, they're meant to be. Mm-hmm. But at the time, obviously, it was something that was quite popular.
People were getting just becoming known, and there were very few people teaching it.
Yeah.
So
because this is the first time I've heard of it, and I actually teach GCSE dance in a high school.
This is what I thought. I thought you guys are going to have a connection.
I've never heard of circle dance, but it's quite interesting, and the repetition of the steps is quite interesting as well, which I think is important, particularly if you're trying to be inclusive in dance, that you're not making it too challenging, and you've got different levels at which you can join. And watching you, I noticed you do incorporate varying abilities, people learning difficulties, and you're also looking into mental health. Is that right?
Mental health.
I've been teaching for a long time with a lovely group in Ipswich called the Inside Out Community, and they have a full program of arts: dance, music, drumming, singing, storytelling, art, of course, and drama. And the idea is that rather than sit around and try and get to the bottom of our problems, is we build on our strengths and we build social confidence.
I love
and
that.
And we learn to live with, because we're all navigating our own strangenesses.
Yeah.
We could call somebody, okay, you have mental challenges, but we all
do.
To be honest. And it's just a matter of learning to navigate and to accommodate other people. So it's a fantastic... when I teach dance in that situation, the people are absolutely in the centre and the dance is on the edge. It's just a way of serving to create friendship,
and a purpose.
activity,
connection as well.
You got it, connection.
You know,
and those
I think
who
that's
can't
important.
Speak much connect through their eyes, through their hands.
Yeah.
Some people are not good on expressing.
Verbalizing.
Yeah. This as well.
I've noticed, a lot of children coming through schools in the past few years have something called selective mutism, where they can't communicate, particularly with an adult.
Yeah.
But they, in a more social situation, they can discuss with their friends. Yeah. So you find that in teaching things like drama and dance, if they can do something like mime or physical theatre or movement, they can then be included in a way that makes them appear they're the same as everyone else, which they are, but they're just finding it difficult to voice how they feel.
I would love to pick your brains about, because I'm very interested in that. Yeah. Because more and more we're discovering that our intelligence is not just in the brain, it's in the whole body. Right. And some of us relate more through our body, our senses and our instincts than when we try and intellectualize things.
Definitely. So what happened when the body start to hear the sound, the music?
Yeah. Well, you know, because you're a singer and a musician, you get excited.
She's a singer as well.
You get excited, you feel feelings, all the emotions that we put on hold because we're busy doing what we think we should be doing.
Right.
Surface with the help of music. It's like it's an invitation or a doorway to say, let the feelings in and feel them.
Do you think that's the same? Do you think everyone feels that in some way? Do you think everyone connects physically with music? In a positive,
to differing degrees, because we've all got different receptors. I mean, some people love curry and some people don't. And some people say music's not very important to me, so I have to believe them. But I think everybody's got some degree of response.
But
to music.
Who doesn't connect with music though?
I know.
My father was one of these people.
No, Stephanie.
I mean, he could sing on tune, but he wasn't bothered by it. He wasn't bothered about it, whereas my mother loved it. So
did he play a lot of music or not really?
Well, no, he didn't have time for it.
No.
But as I say, my mum loved music. She used to sing with me, luckily. So she was my first music teacher.
Yeah.
So you pick it up from your mom?
Yeah.
Most of the time?
Yeah.
And did your father take you to like music classes or anything like that?
Not your father.
To say, because every parent wants.
He was a very nice guy.
Yeah.
But he would have said, "Look, don't waste your time. Do something sensible, like learn maths." You know.
But did he get to see your future in music and dance? Did he see that?
Yes. It was such a kind of a shock for him to realise that this crazy stuff I've been doing instead of doing proper work
that he calls it
actually turning into my work
career,
and that it was a profession. And he was still a little bit embarrassed because it's not the sort of profession that
he's used to.
What does your son do? Well, he sort of goes around. Dancing. It's like, I think he was a bit embarrassed by it, but he got to accept it.
Yeah,
so
of course.
what did your father do then?
He tried to be a businessman. He wasn't very good at it.
Oh, okay.
But, he was basically too nice to be a good businessman.
So it does take some raw kind of
people things that he should have been selling.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was a very decent bloke, but he wasn't at all artistic. And my mother was the opposite. She was temperamental, moody, expressed her feelings sometimes including anger. So she was the other end of the
And did she work, or was she just a kind of mum?
She was a sculptor.
Oh,
what?
Wow.
As the children got older, she was able to put more time into that passion, and she became so passionate about it.
But your parents are from... Where they're from?
Well, my mother's root family were from Romania. Yeah. My father's mum actually fled I think she was 11 or 12. She fled from a place called Belarus, border of Poland and Russia, where people were being killed for religious reasons. What's new?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
she and her husband were from that sort of area, so I've got those different
connections and roots, and also things within you that kind of are coming out in your creativity.
There's a lot of study now about what do they call it now? I can't think of the word, but it's
DNA.
Trauma that gets passed on from generations. But I don't think they studied enough all the talents and sort of like the ability to express yourself and to delight in life that gets passed on. And I think I've got a lot of that as well. I love Romanian music.
Oh.
It's crazy. So were you brought up listening to Romanian music, or it's just there?
My father didn't listen to music.
I love folk music. I didn't get brought up with folk music, but I love it. And I think there's something within my kind of Irish roots that is... And Scottish roots, that there's some kind of folk.
What's your favourite Irish song?
I like a lot of. Do you know Paolo Nutini? He's more Scottish Italian. He's Scottish Italian roots. Yeah, he kind of what's the song? Oh, coming home again to see a girl that's prettier than a diamond shining in the sun. Whoa, what fun. Yeah.
I can feel
It's got that
the mix of contemporary
yeah.
beat
It's more modern. It's more modern,
Yeah.
definitely.
Is it like cowboy?
No, it's not. It's because I've got quite a country voice. I think that's I always throw that in there, but it's not. I think it's more. It's because he sings a song called Alloway Grove and Autumn Leaves, which is a bit more folky, but not upbeat folk. Mm-hmm. It's like autumn leaves, da 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 da.
That is nice.
It's the autumn leaves outside my window. Ba, 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 ba.
You started this.
So there must be more.
Yeah,
you gotta do it one more time. One more time.
The autumn leaves. Ba, 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 ba. Now you're away. Now you're away. I don't really know the words. Ba, 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 ba.
I like the melody is nice.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Ba, 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 ba. Have you heard it?
I
Ba,
haven't.
ba, ba. It was French. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Begin to fall.
I can hear the.
C'est toujours.
Oh.
I'm just making it up now.
We gotta give it a clap on
Sounds
that
great in
one.
French.
Lovely, love it.
Les feuilles d'automne. The autumn leaves. I got it, remembered it. Les feuilles d'automne. Anyway.
You're just making sounds now, Stefan. We're just doing
always
sounds
sing
now.
with that
Passion.
passion.
Yeah. And I can tell when someone kind of sings or introduces you to something new, you're very open and like, wow, you're really kind of into it. You really listen and hear.
Like, you get an international restaurant and I want to try everything on the menu. I just love the different flavors of language, music, dance from every place.
So if you had to choose one then, so let's say music. It's got to be
Thai
music.
Food. We'll start with Thai food. Music's going to be much
Let's
harder
start
to
with
choose.
music.
Music, okay.
Or dance. You had to
I'll give you a little
you had to
bit
keep one.
Have a
Music, dance, or song. Which one, Stefan? Think about it. Whilst
You started this.
See if you can. Where is this from? Es aquí, este Sambinia, te dando una notazo.
Italy?
Otras notas va a entrar, mesa base o mazo.
Edma?
Es otra consecuencia de acabo de decir. Comenzó a consecuencia.
Comenzó- Spanish?
It's Portuguese.
Portuguese.
I heard como estás.
Bossa Nova. Bossa Nova. I think that my first contact with Brazil was Bossa Nova music.
Yeah.
And I fell in
Bossa
love with the
Nova,
sensual way that they sang. Es aquí, este sambinha. I can't quite do it, but they sing like human trumpets.
That's
you know.
romantic.
That really, it's like very
Romantic.
diaphragmatic. Yeah.
Romantic, but not just heart, but heart and senses. They inhabit their senses without shame. And
Yeah.
Stefan, but the way they dance, the way they
In Brazil, it's all in the hips. It's all in the bounce.
It's in the move.
So isn't it a joke that a 72-year-old guy is invited to Brazil to teach dance to these people who can move so well?
That's amazing because it doesn't mean it means that they don't know everything because no one
Yeah,
knows everything. We don't know everything.
But El, we gotta give it a clap for. He just came back from Brazil and just
Teaching
flew
Brazilian
over.
people how to
Brazilian
dance.
people,
Amazing.
and
That's
he
amazing.
came to us, man.
Good for you, Stefan.
Yes.
That's amazing.
He came to flew over and just came back
Where
and
else would I
wanted to be
go?
on our studio.
Where is there to go? Right
Thank
here.
you.
Well, thank you
So
very
look,
much.
you see in that corner, that's the Portuguese translation of this book,
This
the
book.
dance book that I wrote.
Yeah, and
I
so
was
this is
there
your
to
book.
launch that book in Sao Paulo.
Okay. Oh wow. So
What took you-
dance-wise,
dance-wise.
what does this mean? What's to dance-wise? I feel like we have to be smart
Yeah.
to
It's got
dance-wise.
a double meaning, like dance-wise. How do you feel dance-wise?
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
It's
Is
the wisdom of
Yeah.
dancing, because when we hear music, do you know that more parts of your brain light up than when you do any
I've
other
heard.
activity?
Yeah.
I heard about a Google doing a dance class after doing an IQ test for some of their interviewees, and
Yeah.
they did better after their dance lesson than prior to their dance. So I've heard it.
Think
Yeah.
about it. Music lights up more parts of the brain.
Yeah.
Dancing gives us a wider range of movement than any particular sport or any other
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah.
If you put
Very
them
enhanced.
together, you're touching base with every possibility you've got to feel, to think, and to move. So it's bringing it all together in one frame. So what could be more vitalising?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is-
I love that you can vocalize it,
Yeah.
because there's something about being able to teach dance. You know, lots of people teach dance, but actually being able to verbalize what it is that's going on with the body at the same time,
the
so
same
people
time.
understand why it's important.
Thank
And
you. As a fellow dance
As a
teacher, you know.
Yeah.
Because, there's the outer dance, right, left, forward, back.
Yeah.
There's the inner dance, which is how you feel and what you think and what
Yeah,
you
how you
imagine.
move right and
they're
left.
both really important. And
Yeah.
most people just focus on the
And
former.
yeah, people like
Yeah.
us, we understand. We can feel it when somebody moves there.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
within,
You
it's
know,
within
you
the
go, it's
in the
like-
body. Yeah,
And
it's
the
natural.
sound will come in, and you think, "Oh, this is not my sound." But you look at
You
the
can
other
still feel
person,
it.
Yes.
You feel how they express their
Yeah,
energy
yeah.
into that sound
Yeah.
coming. But is it where it heals your mental health
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because,
Okay.
how does it work?
Yes, I think that was the question. Yeah. How does it work? And does it work?
Well,
Have you seen it work?
Yeah.
nah, it's rubbish. I'm only talking. Yes. I wouldn't be doing this if I
No.
wasn't convinced.
No.
I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take, for example, the Inside Out group. When I first came there, some people had done some dancing and some people had never danced. But when you're dealing with a lot of troubles, emotional and mental troubles, for example, obsessive thoughts, anxiety, depression,
Yeah.
the body tends to be like
Closed.
Frozen.
Tight.
and
Yeah.
you're not inhabiting it. You're inhabiting your thoughts.
Yeah.
So this is just like a shell that you're dragging around with you. And as you start to ease the shell with the help of music,
Yeah.
and maybe feel some tactile connection if you're comfortable holding hands,
Yeah.
which is always optional, and you start to feel something like fluidity,
Yeah.
which is very different from rigidity.
That's the place I
Yes.
want to be.
And
Yeah.
if you're a person that has very weak
Yes.
boundaries, let's say it's hard for you to say no, it's hard for you to make up your mind and decide. And every time you make a
okay.
strong step, or you stamp, or you place your weight in a place, you're practicing.
That's
You're
interesting.
Yeah.
practicing being assertive. So you've got the
That's
two
really
things, it's
interesting.
being
That
able
is.
to
Yeah.
blend and flow and to be assertive. And that's just two of many ways that
That's an
can help.
interesting concept.
Oh, man.
I can't say no. I'm someone that always says yes to people. Maybe you're that kind of
But I
person.
can
Maybe
put my foot down.
but I can say,
Yep.
No.
That's how to say it with your body.
but I can't say,
But
no, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I won't come out today. No,
Yeah.
I can't do that for you. No, I
Yeah.
can't help with this.
That's why I always give people in a group the option to say, I prefer not to hold hands. Or
Yeah.
I'm going to do this differently, or I'm going to sit this one out.
Yeah.
Because to have that freedom of choice
yeah.
is so essential
Yeah.
to our humanity. And
But
our
how,
feeling of
how do you,
power.
Not everyone wants to touch
Yeah.
anyway, you know, depending on particular people. They can't, some people can't
Yeah.
make this
If
physical.
you've had a wounded experience,
Yeah.
it's going to take a long time.
everybody's
before you feel
different
that
as
you
well,
want
isn't
to.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But how do you, how do you deal with it, like having a group with different characters?
Yeah.
And you have
And
to
different abilities.
Yeah. You gotta control that and try to put everybody
At
into,
ease.
yeah.
Mm. By
How,
making everything invitational, because then
Yeah.
you don't have to control anything.
right.
If someone is in the corner going, rah, 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 rah,
Yeah.
okay, they're not hurting me or anybody else. If
No.
if they're doing it very loudly, I'll say, by the way, do you know that I can hear you?
Yeah.
And it's a very nice sound, but I can't hear the music at the moment. So
Yeah.
I wonder if you could just do it a bit more softly.
Good. I wonder if you could. Yeah.
You put it in a nice way.
Yeah.
It's not cheeky.
The thing is, dance is difficult. It can be difficult for some people to just hearing that word. We're going to a dance class or a circle dance.
Circle,
It's quite a daunting thing. Dance is quite exposing. So I'm assuming that in circle dance you feel less exposed.
We say there are no wrong steps, only variations. But even so, our inner critic, everyone's inner critic, including mine, is active.
Yeah.
And even if people say to you, it doesn't matter, your own inner critic's going to say, yeah, but they can all do it and I can't.
Yeah.
See, I knew I was no good. I shouldn't be here at all. So
it's immediate because you see it. It's not like you're writing something separately. You don't see. You see when you go wrong, don't you? You see if you're the only one doing a different move or it.
I had an interesting situation when I taught my first trauma release course.
Okay.
One person there said, I can cope with anything structured, but if you give me anything where you say, move how you feel, I'm going to go into a real...
Well, like improvisation.
I'm going to go into a panic.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And then other people said almost the opposite. It's like, I like to dance freely, but please don't tell me what to do. I don't like anybody telling me what to do.
Interesting,
So
some people are natural kind of choreographers, but some people are naturally want to be given more structure. What should I do? You give me the instructions and I'll do it.
So I did do a mixture.
Yeah.
And I made everything optional. And even so, strong feelings arose for people, feelings of inadequacy or feelings of like, this is me and this isn't me.
Yeah.
And that gave us things to talk about as a group, not to judge anyone for it, because we are the way that we find ourselves and just to explore it. So it's grounds for exploration.
I hear you. Sorry.
Go on.
Sorry. I hear you. But what I want to know is, I hear the good side of it.
Yeah.
And what's the bad side of it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I am challenging people.
Yeah.
I'm consciously, because if people leave the same as when they came, I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
So I do want to bring them to the point where they feel some limitation in their life and see if we can walk a little bit further.
Overcome it.
Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with somebody who was difficult to work with?
Yeah.
How is it?
Yeah. I won't mention any.
No.
Yeah, no,
you don't need to do that.
We don't do
When I first started working with Inside Out, I encountered two people who had a lot to say very loudly and found it very hard to inhibit themselves.
Okay.
And that was my first experience of that, and I didn't know how to deal with it.
To handle it.
Saying negative things to you?
No. Just like wanting a lot of time to express themselves, but never getting to the end of it.
Oh, okay.
So,
and
I want to do something that involves the whole group, that involves movement, that is not all about words.
Yeah.
And they want to hold forth and haven't got any self-censorship.
Yeah.
So that was my challenge. And I'm not sure that I totally cracked it.
What did you say to them?
I tried all sorts of things.
Is this self-awareness just getting them to be more self-aware?
No, it wasn't just anything, because everything I tried at the beginning didn't work.
No.
You know, my old tricks are like, oh, how wonderful that you said that, and now I'd like to hear what she's got to say.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
No.
So I love what you said, and we're going to put the music on and move now. That didn't work. So, so all my kind of nice approaches didn't work. I had to actually create a firmer boundary for them and say, I know that everything you say is valuable and interesting, and I've got a job to do, and I'm going to do it.
So we need to do something
I'm
else
just
now.
going to carry on.
Right.
Yes.
And, so it's more like a...
Put it in a nice way.
That's a life lesson. Yeah, but that happens.
But
some grown-ups are like children.
How long do you have to work with that person though?
Well, I guess it's about patience.
How long?
In both cases, after a while, they dropped out of the group.
Oh.
And I didn't try to stop it.
No.
Because
sometimes it's
for the
benefit.
sake of many people, I thought they would find better support somewhere else.
It's a benefit to others. Yeah, maybe that wasn't suited to
I
their
wasn't doing
needs.
psychotherapy. I was doing dance.
Yeah,
with a therapist.
there's a line. Yeah.
But then, Stephanie, the whole group, did they like sense the tension? Did
they were very, very good, because the Inside Out community practices acceptance.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's at the very heart of what they do, and they knew, some people knew them. They'd done group work before. It's just like the sound of thunder, you know. They weren't so bothered as I was.
Can you imagine somebody comes to you on the side and say, "Oh, you know, I don't like this too. They always want attention from you."
Yeah.
Can you tell them something?
It's hard. I'm sure.
It's hard. Now you gotta balance it.
Yeah.
But this is also, I'm on a learning journey.
Yeah,
and
you are.
boundaries is not my strong point. I'm very good at being nice and not so good at being firm.
And as a teacher, that's quite a challenge, isn't it?
So that's part of my learning as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You find that, I think, in all teaching, there's always going to be challenging people.
How's your teaching?
Yeah, it can be challenging because children are learning and growing and managing hormones all in the same time. And they haven't quite learned how to draw the boundary between what's happened at home and then not letting that flood into their day. And that's okay, because it's very different teaching children, than, I guess not always, but a lot of the time it can be different. So teenagers, from 11 to 16.
So their job is to challenge you. That's
exactly.
Part of their growth,
they're seeing what boundaries they can cross.
Do they push it though?
Yes, of course.
They have to.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because
didn't you?
we all did. But actually, I think that can be interesting, and that can bring out some really, in terms of expression, some really interesting characters.
Your character.
And actually, sometimes the more challenging characters in other subjects are less challenging in our subject.
Yeah. Nice.
Which is really, it gives them it gives them room to, be appreciated for their talents.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
really
So we have 2 teachers.
Yeah. We're all teachers.
we're
You're a
two
father,
teachers.
you're a teacher too.
Well,
No, I agree with that. Like even I find cats are great teachers. We all learn from one another.
Cats.
Yes, you see, 2 of my books are about cats.
Oh wow.
Have a look.
yeah.
Okay.
I think these little creatures are so clever in dominating us. They can hypnotise us into doing whatever they want. They can make us feel grateful for the privilege of stroking them or feeding them.
I've never had an
How
animal.
clever is that?
I've never.
No, they have you if it's a cat.
If it's a cat, they have you. Yeah.
I've never.
Well, I inherited a cat because my neighbours next door, but quite some years ago, were moving, and they didn't want to take their cat. And I felt awful because she'd been coming to our house and we'd give her little bits of food. So we kept her, and she was only very, very young. I think she was kind of 2.5. And actually, we didn't realise that she was pregnant. So we had
a bundle of cats.
Yes, and then she got out after she'd had them and went and got pregnant again.
Yeah, well.
So we had 2. Yeah.
So how many?
Well, so I don't have cats. They live with my mum. I kept one of her children. So there's a mum and a son, and they're Sass and Forrest, and they live with my mum. But they are very different to dogs. And I was very much a dog person.
What would you prefer?
But now I'm either or. I think dogs tend to have more of a loyalty. But I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm not an animal whisperer.
Fiercely loyal to themselves.
To themselves.
It can depend on the person.
Feed a cat and it's yours. Feed a cat and it's yours.
No, but I found that cats at times would seem to have a lot of empathy.
Yeah.
Just when you need a little bit of
I
cheering
agree,
up,
actually.
they come over and they seem to know. And then at other times they're very full of themselves.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
I'm more important right now.
I don't know anything about animals because I never had one.
It's crazy, yeah. You've never had an animal?
No.
I think it's important to some people and not to others.
If you think about a part of us is animal.
Yeah.
We're very instinctive, intuitive. We're in our senses, in our feelings, but we're not so in touch with that because we're full of thoughts and agendas and plans and mobiles and devices and all that. And the animals haven't lost that, even domestic animals.
Yeah.
They're very in touch with what's happening in the minute.
And they're always happy
So
to see you.
It can be.
Happy to see.
I don't
Always.
think you need that, but I think a lot of people need
Yeah.
help in being present in the
I
moment.
think that's a compliment, Cedric.
Did you say
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
think you're there already. I'm calling you an animal.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Wow.
I've got clothes. You wind me up. You're very naughty.
Me?
Yeah, you started this.
Sorry, I apologise.
No,
Yeah.
I
The
started
instigator.
it by bringing cat books, right?
That's
You've
right.
got to blame me.
But which cat came
That's true.
first? Which came? I mean, the book.
Which cat came
This
first?
book came first.
That book came.
Okay.
Which cat came
Oh,
first?
he brought the cats, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
But which cat came first?
Well, I have got an answer to that.
Okay.
I wonder if I can find
So,
it. It's about Adam
I'm
and Eve.
confused. Oh,
So everything is surrounded by cats.
yeah.
So all the books, cats. So which cat did he wrote first?
Oh, which book?
Which poem?
Which
Well,
poem? Okay.
Well,
wish
the
I could
book,
find
yes.
The one about Adam and Eve. Hold on.
Oh,
I'm
Adam
gonna
and
find it.
Eve.
There's too many in there. I wrote this one first. This is all through the eyes of a cat. Every voice you hear in here is a cat speaking.
Okay.
Interesting.
So like the
Do you have a
very first one-
different voice for each cat?
Not really.
Oh.
But what I mean is that you're seeing life through
Yeah.
my imagined way that a cat would see
Yeah.
it. So look, this is called banish misfortune. In
Okay.
other words, don't let things get you down.
Oh, yeah, read it, Stephanie.
Stefan.
I always
He
I always
sees
got
my-
it wrong.
He sees my inner goddess.
I could.
It's all right. I prefer Stephanie to Steph. I really don't
Okay.
like
Okay,
Steph.
Steph. Okay.
No, he doesn't like Steph.
So
Oh, you don't.
Stefan is my actual name, if you like to use the one that other people use.
I'm sorry.
But why why do what everybody else does?
Yeah, do your own thing.
Okay.
So look, this is a cat speaking.
All right.
My human looks desolate today. Water leaking from swollen eyes, shoulders shuddering. A special gift can lift the heart, a heavy heart. I'll be back with a nice surprise, just as soon as I've caught it.
Okay.
So
Gotta
Very
give him a round of
good.
applause for
Well
that.
done.
Come on, man.
And it's not always something we want. Yes.
So the cat loves to bring a little present, like
Yeah.
a dead mouse,
Yeah.
or even a living mouse.
Yeah, and I've had that a few times,
Yes.
and they're thinking they're doing you a favour. Look, you look sad today. Here
Yeah,
you go.
here's a mouse.
Here's a frog.
That's true. That's true.
It's
That's
okay.
True. That's true.
I can remember I found a very small mouse
Yeah.
in the cat bowl
Mm.
with the food.
I can see, Cedric, you're going to rush out and get a cat now.
We're not talking you into it, are we?
Every time they used to say to me, having an animal is so expensive. This is why I was like, I don't want to have one.
I've got another point of view.
Yes, a positive. I think
Yeah.
Stefan's probably got a positive.
Research. People with pets live longer, have less heart attacks. So how much is it worth
Yeah.
to
If
have
if
that
someone
experience?
said to you, get a pet, and you'll live 10 years longer, what would you say?
I do it.
Yeah.
I do it now.
It's worth a bit of cat
Yeah.
Where can I go and get it? I do it now.
And anyway,
Exactly.
cats catch their own sometimes.
They
Problem
do.
is, if you have one or you have to go for holiday, you just came back from Brazil.
That is a little tricky.
It is.
Yeah.
But I don't
What
know.
you need is a cat and amazing neighbours.
You do.
Right.
Cats are easier than dogs because people can just come in and feed them and then they tend to themselves, take themselves in and out. Dogs, you
If
need
you're
someone to
If
walk
you're a
them.
nice, friendly person and you've got your tribe and they like dogs too, and then they look
Yeah.
after yours and
And you look after theirs.
and it kind
Okay.
of works out.
And that's, again, not just community.
Do you want to hear cat number 2?
Go on.
Which cat
Oh.
came number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Okay. Why don't you flick and just like see what happens?
Could be. I wanted to
What's-
find the one
which
about
one's
Adam
meant
and
to
Eve,
be?
Since you asked me which was the
Yeah.
best cat.
Yep, cat number 2.
I wonder if I can
Book number
find it.
2. So this is the first book, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is the cat's whiskers.
In the second book, I allowed humans to comment as well.
Oh, okay.
Thought they
That
should.
was very kind of you, Stefan.
Okay.
Good.
I always get the names wrong.
Stephanie.
This is completely bonkers because there's a side of me which is bonkers, and I can express it in poems freely without
Lovely.
people minding.
I love that.
So this is called Crackers.
Excellent.
You know, like Christmas crackers.
Oh, not like crazy.
Well,
Like,
yes, both.
okay, love it. Brilliant.
The cat jumped out of the cracker. I know why you're gurning. I couldn't believe it either. Nor could Tim or our toddler Tam. It was full-sized, a tabby Tom, alive as you and I, and not the least bit rattled. The cat jumped out of the cracker, assessing rapidly 3 human statues in deep shock. He rubbed against Tim's hand, which instinctively dropped fork to touch furry head. But the cat bowed, grabbing Tim's sausage instead, and bolted away. Tam nearly choked with laughter. The cat jumped out of the cracker and vanished. Poof! Leaving nothing but 6 wide eyes. Tam screamed out, "Pull another cracker!"
Okay.
I mean, I was quite concerned when the cat grabbed the sausage.
sausage.
I was like, oh. Was it a sausage? Was it a finger sausage?
No,
or was it a
In
sausage?
my mind, it was an actual sausage, not a finger.
Oh, okay.
Because it brushed across his hand, you see. So I was like,
Yeah.
did he grab?
Yeah.
Because cats like little fingers.
But
Oh,
the
they
sausage.
do.
They do.
They do. And
Especially little children's fingers.
they're very authentic. So
Yeah.
they might be your best friend, but if they feel like giving you a little claw, they won't hold back.
No, not at all.
But, some of these are quite realistic
Yeah.
portraits of cats, and some of them are completely out,
Zany.
off the wall. Like
Yeah.
that one.
Okay.
And I don't
But I
really know
love
where
it.
they come from. It's just like the mad imagination playing.
But I like how as you're reading them, you're adding some movement to each of the words. Yeah. I love that.
I was a very out-of-body kid.
Yeah.
I was hyper anxious, hypersensitive, and I lived in my head, which is why
Okay.
when I discovered dance movement and started to get my confidence, it meant
Right.
so much to me. And
Yeah.
now being in my body means so much to me.
Definitely. A lot of people take the mick out of me and do this because apparently I do. This is how I
Do you
speak.
have Italian ancestors?
Maybe, who knows?
But,
But
you're a good
It's
dancer.
just, thanks very much, Cedric.
She's-
Appreciate it.
She's good.
Mm.
You need to go to.
Yeah, I'd love
I
to.
definitely-
I'd love
yes,
to
I
come to
want
one
to
of your
connect with
classes.
what you're
That would
doing
be
as well.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a
And
doubt.
When you were doing that, I was thinking, do you know the hand jive? All the movements you can, all that and the hammers. Because I find that a very useful dance to get people warmed up.
Yes, because everyone kind of
And
knows
you
the mashed
don't- If you're in a
potato. and-
wheelchair or you're a bit shy, you can still do that.
Yes, it's like seated dance. Seated dance is wonderful now for
Beautiful.
people without, too much
without
movement
mobility,
and
yeah.
mobility. Yeah.
Stefan,
Hello.
the circle dance and move to the rhythm. Which one came first?
Circle dance.
The circle dance.
Yeah.
All right.
For me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move to the Rhythm was something I created with Judith Atkins, very good friend,
Judith
salsa
Atkins.
dancer
You
from-
work with her.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She
But
lives-
you
she
started
lives in
the
Bury St Edmunds.
you started rhythm.
We've got a workshop 1 week from today in
Okay.
Ipswich.
Wow, so next
salsa
Sunday?
Workshop.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
Okay. What's the
with,
date?
With Judith. I can't remember, but it's next Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So will it be the
It's almost
21st?
full, but if someone wants to contact me, we could
Oh,
do
wow.
with 1 or 2 more leaders, 1 or 2 more men.
Please
So
get in touch.
Yeah.
Judith is a long-time friend from salsa who invited me to teach salsa, and then we started talking about our common interest in personal development through dance, and we created Move to the Rhythm.
Right.
And we've
Okay.
taken it to various places, including homes for the elderly and different groups.
Oh, this sounds amazing.
It is
Sounds
amazing.
great.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
basic, that's not so. It's not really based on circle dance. It's movement expression.
Okay.
Movement expression.
But is it structured movement?
It's very structured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like giving people freedom within a structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you just want the freedom, it's already there. Go to a party.
Yeah.
Go to a band. You don't need anyone to orchestrate that.
No, you don't.
But if you want,
It is
to come,
Go
if you want
to
to sort of dig in within a safe place,
Yeah.
and look at what's inside you and how it expresses itself, then you do need a structure.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
right,
of course. Yeah, definitely.
Just go
So
to.
can you? Yeah, I know. Just go to a nightclub.
Go to a band, see a band, go to the park and dance. I
Yeah.
love doing that as well.
Yeah, we all do. We
man.
don't get to do it enough, do we? That's the problem.
Yeah, you say.
But tell us about your book then. Tell us a little bit about
Dance
Dance-Wise.
Wise.
Yeah.
I'd love
Dance
to,
Wise,
'cause
yeah.
Dance Wise represents where my life is going now. I noticed, actually, there's a bit of a Brazil in this story. The first time I was invited to teach circle dance in Brazil was about 12 years ago probably. I noticed that a lot of the teachers I met, because a lot of teachers come to my workshops to get new dances, new
Yeah.
ideas. A lot of them were working in the community, addiction recovery, convalescent unit in
That's
hospital,
interesting.
teenagers in favelas who've got very little ability to
Yeah.
express
Yeah.
themselves,
Oh,
have a lot
wow.
of discouragement. And I was seeing, wow, they're doing it. This is my dream. That dance is more than an entertainment. It's
Yeah.
helping. It's a kind of social
It's good
therapy.
for the soul
Yeah.
as
It's
well.
helping us to rebuild
Yeah.
ourselves as individuals and as communities.
Yeah.
So
Connect.
wow, this is happening.
Definitely.
So I talked to as many people as I could. I decided to write a book, including my own experience and as many other teachers as I could be
Met.
in contact with who were
Yeah.
working with different groups.
Yeah.
One, for example, amazing lady who I just spent some time with in Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
She's called Vaneri. She worked for a long time with teenagers in trouble with the law. Or she
wow.
called it in conflict with the law.
Okay.
So she didn't
Yes.
call them young
Good way of
criminals,
explaining
she
it.
just-
Yeah, yeah.
Because she could see their point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They needed to find their, they were expressing defiance and courage and trying to find themselves. And they did it in ways that were not approved of.
Not
like
legal.
nicking,
Yeah.
nicking things and selling drugs, you know.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but they were actually kind of on their path trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
So she didn't have any judgment about them. And she got a lot of them involved in dance in a way that they could express themselves, their strength, their agility, their creativity,
Yeah.
Okay.
teamwork. And I was very impressed. So anyway, all those seeds grew up and became this book, Dance Wise. It took some
Dance
time
Wise.
to
Yeah.
put it together. And in between all these therapeutic uses of dance, I put a lot of much more enjoyable stuff because I want it to be a pleasure to read. It's got artwork and poetry and
Oh, lovely.
fantasy.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
half of dance
That's
is
beautiful.
what happens inside,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the other half is how can you make use of it in
Yeah.
society.
So would you see it as instructional?
Yes, at the end of every
Yeah.
chapter, there's a whole lot of exercises that individuals can do solo,
Oh, wow.
and then teachers can use them
Yeah.
and adapt them to in
Okay.
group work.
That's
You guys,
amazing.
you gotta work together.
That's amazing.
You guys,
Yeah.
you gotta work together.
So are there kind of ideas for choreographical kind of things that people can be doing
Yes.
to
Yeah.
develop?
Yes, but
Yeah.
it starts from a much simpler place than ideas for choreography. It starts with actually, what about putting one foot in front of the other?
Yeah.
You know, and it takes you from there.
I would struggle.
Baby steps.
I would struggle.
No, you wouldn't.
I was seriously. I would struggle.
No, I don't believe that, Cedric.
But, we had
You got
a
good
dance.
rhythm.
We had a dance we wanted to try, and she was teaching me. I did struggle.
The reason is that you have a free spirit. So for you to tame that free spirit and
Yeah.
to take it back to do what I say now, right, left,
Yeah.
you're going to have a fight with yourself.
Right.
And
Okay.
you have to believe, if you want to believe, it's a bit like someone saying, I know you've used a knife and fork all your life,
Yeah.
but here's a different kind of knife and fork. and put them in the opposite hands, and now try.
Now try.
It's going to feel very restrictive to
You
start
can-
with.
Okay.
You can dance, but maybe it's for now. You need a different way of
I know
learning
the-
structure.
I- I'm from Africa. It's
Yeah.
From South Africa, we use a lot of bombs. You know?
Yeah, quite Brazilian.
Oh yeah.
I think
The original
you
twerk.
You need a way in that is fun.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just seem like like what not to do, but
But
it's what
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's so important. I think actually we can learn a lot from you. How do you make dance fun, particularly as a teacher teaching, children?
Yeah.
How do you make it fun when you have to teach specific things for like a GCSE? They have this set criteria. How do you make it fun?
I think hopefully
That's a
you're
good
not so
question,
time
man,
pressed that you have to just stay with the syllabus.
Yeah.
If you think that half of the dance is what's going on inside, it's feelings and imagination,
Yeah.
and another big chunk of the dance is social connection.
Yeah.
So even people who are not into dance have got an imagination and they like social connection.
Yeah.
So you've got two other avenues to intrigue them with. But I don't know enough about the GCSE syllabus to
but
know
it'd be
how we could
interesting.
play around with it. But I'd be looking at feeding in from enthusiasm so that the technical stuff that they have to learn and demonstrate is infused with fun, with games, with imagination, with social connection.
That's a great idea.
That's hard though.
It's hard.
It is hard,
It's always
'cause
going to be
these
hard. You've got a
syllabuses are
time
so-
scale.
yeah.
You
Because
have to teach certain things and stick to certain
How
criteria.
do you bring your emotions into
I think
that? Because
it's hard. That's one key thing I think with younger children, the expressive skills. Lots of children can learn the movement, but actually having the confidence to express the emotion that sometimes for us as adults we take for granted comes naturally.
Yeah, I believe that dance comes under the PE or a PT, is it?
It used to, but now it's separate.
Oh, good.
It
I'm
comes
so
under the
glad about
arts.
that. I'm glad
We
about
were
that.
alongside music and
Being
drama.
rescued.
It's been rescued.
Whew.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm a drama teacher.
Oh, fantastic.
And I teach dance because I wanted our school to have dance.
Yeah.
So the,
And we never
the
had it
drama
before.
element in a dance is so fantastic because you
Yeah.
can just walk embodying different ways of walking.
Yes.
You can walk with attitude, you can walk with apology, you can walk like you're a giant.
Yeah.
And without
Yeah.
doing any more than that, you've
That's
already
a
got
movement.
a very
the
rich
whole expression.
experience.
How do you express yourself
So
to
the
us?
I think the combination of drama and dance is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's implicit in
Yeah.
dance. It's very dramatic.
Without a doubt. And we notice that with children that take both subjects, drama and dance. If they've chosen both of those, they often excel more so because they're embracing that expressiveness and they have more confidence.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So consider this, that inside each person there's more than one personality.
Right.
You've got, you've got the person that wants to achieve everything. You've got the lazy person. You've got the shy person. You've got the daydreamy person.
Yes.
And
We've all got that.
In dance, we can embody all of our characters and bring them together and start to feel. It's almost like step into the shoes of the different parts of you and see what they're like. What's the wild animal inside you?
Yes.
Like?
And the cat in you.
And what's the very graceful, balanced, poised part of you like?
Oh,
I love
that's
that.
That's
I
what
love
I
that.
like. I like that one.
That's the poise.
Yeah. I mean, I never would have thought when I was a clumsy, out of my body kid that I would ever feel graceful, but I do now.
Yeah.
How old are you then?
72.
Wow.
You doing this?
Doing
Nah,
amazing.
not really. I'm just making it all up.
It's a great lie.
It's a great
It's
fantasy,
a
isn't it?
brilliant.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
brilliant. Honestly, you need to learn something.
I
I'm
need to
living
learn
it.
some.
He is the real Pinocchio here. This guy. I was
I've got
going
a
to.
spare wooden nose. If you want. I brought one with. I'll show you. Oh no, it's in my bag.
Have you got your Mary Poppins bag? No.
You go on. Well, okay.
I wanted to ask you, when you're talking about kind of having kind of these different personalities and being in touch with what's going on inside, and there was something that I read about you looking at kind of peace but maybe not peace with yourselves, just creating peace. You went, where did you go where you were going to?
More than one place, actually.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege of working in Israel.
Yeah.
And I feel very close to the different communities there, Palestinian people, Jewish people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also Druze people, and there are nomadic people, and it's a little country but incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
And I wanted to work with a mixture of people.
Yeah.
And my cousin who lives there on a kibbutz helped me to organize it.
Yeah.
And although a majority of people coming were Israeli Jewish people, as I expected, there were some people from Muslim background.
Okay, and how
Arab
was that?
Christian background. It was wonderful because
they're very welcoming as well.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
But having both
But
sides.
it took some courage for them to come to a kibbutz, which was where we held the dancing.
Yeah.
And during the course of the day, a lot of my focus was on building trust and building connection.
That's
more
so
than
important.
learning dance. And at the end of the day, what people said was very moving. It's like, one woman said, for the first time in my life, I've been able to look in the eyes of a Jewish person and not flinch and not have judgments.
That's
and feel
pretty
that
powerful.
We're the same. So,
Wow.
It is powerful.
So after that, how could you attack somebody?
Yeah.
You know, if people had that experience
Yeah.
of sisterhood, brotherhood,
Yeah.
how could you possibly be in conflict?
But how do we reach so many
I
people?
know. I don't have I wish I had
crazy.
an answer.
You know, it's amazing that you can do this, and even if it is the minority, a few people, it's something, isn't it? That's your kind of mark in the world. That's your good
what
deed.
I hold on to is what we can do. Sometimes it feels like there's nothing we can do, but we can always plant seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you never know with seeds which ones will grow, how big they will grow,
Yeah.
what will be the effect on the world. But it's worth planting them because
Definitely.
it's better than doing
Because if
nothing.
we don't, then nothing's going to happen, is it?
But I do feel desperately sad about conflict.
I went to
Do you?
went to Bulgaria, studied a polygraph.
Oh wow. Yes.
And then I was studying with some of the intelligence from Israel,
Yeah.
and we were there. These guys, they train. They really trained as proper training.
Mm-hmm.
But
This is the lie detector.
Yeah.
lie
program,
detecting,
right,
yeah,
okay,
lie detecting. So, but they were so open to welcome you.
Mhm.
So they would. What I did find it strange.
Yeah.
I'll call it strange. We go and learn, train.
Mhm.
They would take all what we did, put it aside when we all together sit,
Okay.
and they will come with warm hugs,
Yes.
being with you, embracing
Yeah.
you. When we train, it's different person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You would think, what happened to you?
But it's like it's a professional head.
Yeah, it's like he knows I'm not in this place now.
You said
I'm in this
something
place.
really important there.
Yeah.
Because most people, I believe, want to be expansive, open,
Yeah.
kind, generous, because
Yeah.
you get a good buzz from it.
You
It's
do.
a two-way buzz.
Yeah,
But we also have in our mind a dividing line.
yeah,
And on one side of the divide is what we might call everything that we don't recognize or own.
We're
in
not
ourselves.
familiar.
We
yeah,
could call it the shadow. Yeah, it's what Jung called it, the shadow.
Okay.
So if I don't recognize that within me
yeah,
there is some violence or fear or
Yeah.
power issues,
yeah.
I'm going to project it
Yeah.
over there.
yeah.
Okay.
They've got it. They're the bad people. They're causing all the problems. We better kill them before they kill us.
Yeah.
So then
Oh
you've got,
wow.
you're divided against
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah,
You're really
yeah.
trying to kill off a part of yourself.
But that
you
comes
don't
down.
like.
That's
And
That comes down to
powerful.
trust as well,
Project it
doesn't
out
it?
there.
It's like it's the trust in other people as well. Like you
Yeah.
were saying, it's like I better get them before they get me.
Mm-hmm. But you know,
Self-deprivation.
that's why I want to cultivate through dance. I want
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
cultivate understanding of all of our different selves, because this, what we might call the shadow, is actually a very creative space. It's
Yeah.
powerful. It's wild,
Yeah.
and
And it
we
needs
can
to be let
express
out.
it very safely in dance.
Now,
to express our wild.
Yeah.
now I can see this, where everything comes from, Stefan.
Yeah.
As he's a music singer-songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Poet.
That came first before I was dancing.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
he's a choreographer.
Yeah.
He's a
Poet.
a poet. Yeah,
I love cooking.
he he loves cooking. So most of all, he plays. How many instruments do you play?
I never counted, but
Wow.
I can pick up most what I call easy instruments. I can pick them up.
Easy when you know how. Easy when you know how.
Going through his biography, he's
Very, very
plays
creative guy.
more than 6.
Well, the ones I play a lot are guitar, accordion, piano, drum, flute,
Accordion.
and others I mess about with. I just got hold of a bouzouki. It's got wonderful.
Oh, wow.
I'm just getting my head around that one.
That sounds crazy.
It sounds like a weapon, but
It does,
it's
actually.
a Greek long-necked instrument.
Okay.
And
Very talented.
What I did love about the whole following you, Stefan, is you have pledged to do what do you say? You're good on telling this. What do you?
What, supporting?
No, he.
Can I?
Yes, he
Can
did
I
this.
jump in? Oh well, I've made a few short films.
I would be great on telling it, but I don't know what he's talking. I
I
think
made a few short films,
brilliant.
which
Like a filmmaker.
is mad,
This-
But thank
really.
you. I
This
think
is what I
sometimes,
wanted-
Stefan, I think Cedric thinks I can read his mind. You're great on reading my mind out. No.
Must try harder.
Right, note to self.
Speaking of songwriting,
Yes.
you were suggesting that I could play a song on your show.
That would be amazing.
Oh, we want
We'd
that.
love that.
I'm not trying to
No,
rush you or
no,
anything,
we
but
want
that.
I
No,
don't want the
that-
time to go.
That'd be
now.
great.
This is your
you could
time,
sing
isn't
us. You could sing us out. You could sing
Yeah,
us out.
this is your time. Yeah, we all in
Well,
tune as well.
is it time for me to sing us out?
That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Okay.
Sing
Break
us
it
out.
down,
Yes. Break it down.
Break it down.
So if I can get my fingers around it.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the decoration on that
So
guitar.
yeah, this was a sad-looking second-hand guitar.
Did you-
And I just
did you-
messed around with
Excellent.
felt tip pens and
The
tippets.
ocean theme.
Yeah, well, it's
Love
Looks
it.
good though.
just messing around, really. I love writing songs. I don't write that many songs. I'm much more of a dance creator. I've probably written a couple of dozen songs in my life, and this is one. They say that you teach what you need to learn, and this is called Slow Down, so I need to teach myself to learn it. My fingers don't want to do it now. Slow down, slow right down. Let the haze at the end of the day be your friend. Let it wander round. Let it turn off the sound. Slow down. Slow down, slow right down. Leave the chains of the day, don't hold on, give them sway. No word is lost or found till the day dies down. Slow down. At the end of the day, sway, laughter will come your way. Dance to the dying day. Slow down. Slow right down. Let the haze at the end of the day be your friend. Let it wander round. Let it turn off the sound till the clock is unwound. Slow down, slow down, slow down.
Wow, that was lovely.
Thank you, Stefan.
Do you know, I felt myself slowing down. I kind of felt myself kind of going into my own little zone, and my mind was like floating around.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
It was really nice.
I've enjoyed
really
this
nice.
interview so
This is
much.
beautiful,
Good.
Stefan.
It's
This
been
is
a real
your
pleasure.
original song, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
it's one of my many songs, but it does go back some time. I was actually school teaching when I wrote this, so I'm going right back to the 76.
And I can understand why you felt the need to slow down. Yes, yes, definitely.
But then, it's
Yeah,
amazing to have you.
yeah, it's been wonderful.
Yeah, before we shut the show.
Any
please-
words of wisdom?
No.
Any words of wisdom? Oh, yes.
Please, can you explain? Stefan wrote a tribute.
Land of Notre Dame.
Yeah, Land of Notre Dame for Bob Marley.
That's amazing, and quite, you know, with what's going on now with the movie, the Bob Marley
Yeah,
movie.
the Bob Marley. And what you're saying is what surprises me. He wrote it before the movie came.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, long before.
Yeah,
that.
long
Yeah.
before
And I'm
the
not the
movie
first
came.
person to write a Bob Marley tribute song. And then once I'd written it, I thought I'd like to have some artwork with it. And I
Yeah.
love what Lois has done with it.
It's really, really done. And I've
So
seen
is this a music video?
Yes, but
Yes.
it's not people, it's art. It's like moving
Oh,
artwork.
okay, wonderful, wonderful.
Lois, big shout out for Lois Cordelia,
Yeah.
community artist who really embraced a completely different style to do this film.
Okay,
And we had great fun doing it together.
brilliant.
But the film that I'd love people to look up, you'll find it free online. It's called Malka, Malka. Just put my name and put Malka. It's just a 5-minute film based on a song, and it's dedicated to refugee children worldwide.
Oh, wow.
And it's just
That's
to
amazing.
raise awareness, not so much about the facts, but the feelings. Because when we hear the facts, we tend to switch off.
Yeah.
Like, a million refugees.
Yeah.
We've heard that before.
We
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
take it in.
No.
It's the story of one child. So this is to help us.
That's
to actually-
amazing,
Malka,
brilliant.
And that's where the salsa dance came in as well.
Nothing to do with salsa.
Nothing?
Malka and salsa sound a bit similar.
They sound similar, but
Yeah.
no, but that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
wonderful that you've tried to do that.
How do you fit salsa into my story? It's about the turn of the century. my friend Jamie said, I'm going to
He's
a salsa-
rescuing you here.
I'm going to a salsa class. You'll love it. And I said, I will. And he said, you're coming. I said, I am. And
by
I
the
never looked
way,
back. I never looked back.
I've got this great movie.
I've seen it.
It's 5 minutes long, and it's the same length as a salsa song I know really
It's got
well.
2 syllables, and it sounds a bit like Malka.
Oh my God.
Maybe we should create a dance called Malka.
Excellent.
Malka, a dance
Love
called-
how you turned it around.
You rest me.
Malka, I will definitely be watching that. That's
Do the
amazing.
Malka.
I'm
No,
sure
like
it's.
drinking milk. Malka.
I'm sure it's much more heartfelt and
It is. It's
Beautiful.
It's
And
beyond.
really
It's
kind of-
very-
is it
it's very
informative
soulful.
or-
It's going to make you cry. I'm afraid.
okay, but we need that.
It's informative to the emotions.
Yeah.
Because this is what I say about dance and music too. We do need information. I'm not putting down information. We need to use
Yeah.
our brains, but it's overloaded
Yeah,
to the
without a
point
doubt.
where we don't always feel things. There's so much
Yeah.
information we can't.
We get
feel
too
it.
much.
Yeah.
So I'm putting things on the other side of the scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. Right, Stefan, thank you very much for being here. We've just got one little gift for you just to show appreciation. What we like to
Yeah.
do on the mic is we like to appreciate people. You know, a lot of the time when people aren't here
Yeah.
anymore, we appreciate them for all the good that they did in the world, but actually we want to appreciate you for
We
what you've
want
done.
to appreciate you.
Would you mind grabbing
We
the
want
gift
to
for us?
appreciate you.
We want to appreciate you now. Appreciate what you've done for refugees, raising awareness in your own unique way.
Yeah.
The beautiful music you've
Oh,
written,
wow,
poetry.
look at this.
So these are for you.
Oh my
the mic,
gosh.
flowers.
I think they would look so good up here.
Well, that's exactly what we thought. Yeah. But yes,
Oh, they're
that's
beautiful. Thank you so
your little ray of
much.
sunshine.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And we wanted, Stefan, these were made specially for you.
They were made?
Yeah.
They were made for
No,
you.
For you.
They look so
Well, they were
realistic.
grown. Yeah, when they were planted, Stefan. When they were planted, we had you in mind. Witty.
Thank you very much.
Give me high five, Stefan.
Thank you, Stefan, very much for coming.
Oh,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you,
I
man.
want to chat with you
Yes.
another time about
That would be
dance.
amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Get your number.
Yes,
We
all
will.
right, we will.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank
you
you very
very
much.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
Stefan.
you.
Take care. Bye now.
Funny.
Stefan.
I did it again.
Me want my dad, give me to my wee, wee. Me want my dad, give me to my wee. Me want my dad.